Welcome back to Emergency Dating Consulting, a place for immediate change and/or development in the world of dating. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to send in your questions so I can answer them on the show. Let's go. I have a 28-year-old female who finds herself in an uncomfortable situation with her fiance. She titles it as "Found hair ties in fiance's car with hair that is not mine." Here's her details. Please excuse my poor post. LOL, it's my first time posting on Reddit. I, 28-year-old female, have been engaged to my 30-year-old fiance for about 1 year and overall in a relationship for 5 years. I just recently moved into his place. I'd say we've been living together for the past 4 to 5 months. Even before I moved in, we would spend a lot of time together. We have a healthy amount of friends and engage in our own hobbies. We are in pretty good places in our personal lives and have really been great together for most of this time. Lately, I've been noticing that he hasn't been as present when we were together. Forgetting things I say, forgetting important dates, plans, etc. For the past 3 months, we have been having sex only about once a month, which is extremely not normal for us. We talked about it, and it hasn't been a problem since. That was about 2 weeks ago. Fast forward to 2 days ago, we were driving home from a sports event, and I rest my hand in the passenger's door handle where the armrest is at. And I pull up a set of 2 very small rubber bands with blonde hairs intertwined in both bands. I am not blonde, nor do I own any of those rubber bands. I am 100% brunette, and none of our close friends or my sister nor my mom are blonde. I pulled them closer to him and asked him, "Who are these?" He simply responded with, "I don't know." I asked again, "Well, I'm not blonde, so whose are these?" He simply responded with, "I don't know." He responds, "I don't know, what do you want me to tell you?" I completely shut down and I didn't talk to him for a few hours. Hours later, I asked him to please tell me whose hair it was. He said he's going to figure out whose hair it was. At the end, he told me he would never disrespect me like that, and he's very sorry about even making me feel so upset. I really want to believe that maybe it was a coworker's or just believe him in general, but hair is evidence, right? I have not looked at him the same. The lack of sex also makes me question if there was another woman this whole time. Has anyone ever dealt with something similar? I don't know how to proceed here. I'm still shocked. Beginning manager. Immediately, let me start off with, to the men and women out there, if you are doing anything outside, whether it's considering cheating, just dabbling, just exploring, anything like that, when you are with your significant other, especially for years, y'all have intertwined together, your energies molded together one way or another. So when your energy or your actions or anything like that starts to drift a little bit, even if you haven't truly broken the rules in your monogamous engagement, they are going to notice every single time. It's going to be small, nothing they could bring up. They just become a little more fishy, start looking around a little bit, start investigating, but they notice every single time. If you're in a committed relationship, don't stray. It's inevitable. The snowball will build and that shit will crash into something. So to answer your question, is hair evidence? Hair is evidence of something. You don't know what it is, and hence you haven't really jumped down his throat too much necessarily. However, it's enough for you to raise your questions, to feel how you feel, and it's enough to definitely investigate towards him. I wouldn't go outside of anything. I wouldn't check his shit. I wouldn't look out. I would investigate yourself as you are doing. But this is very important, and very, very important. Understand where this man's coming from. Let me see if I can shed a little bit of light where this isn't a diabolical fuck you because I don't respect you and I'm just gonna fuck some chick for the hell of it. I don't think that this is the case. Hear me out for a second, beginning manager. I'm going to give this man a very small benefit of the doubt. And I say this because she quotes him saying, at the end, he told me he would never disrespect me like that, and he's very sorry about even making me feel so upset. You told us and shared this detail with us because it touched you a certain way, and I believe it was genuine. I truly believe, as you express how you feel and reality hit him, this is his fiance, y'all are living together, everything I'm sure you're gonna let him know while the heat was still hot. I give him a small benefit of the doubt because most men and women, or many that I've seen, would shut down themselves of being accused and would throw all this, try to distract the point, try to get your direction over here, get your direction over here. But at some point in time, this man acknowledged that he hurt his woman, and at the same time, he knew how disrespectful it was. This at least highlights to me intelligence and self-awareness, and that he isn't your typical bro that sees this as he fucked up and got caught. That was a small benefit of the doubt I wanted to give this man for accepting responsibility, and that is a very big deal, believe it or not. For the most part, not full responsibility, he didn't admit to anything, and to be fair, if he did, your head would explode. So for the most part, he kind of feel like he can't tell you the truth. For one, I mean, he has a lot of things. He's your fiance, on top of y'all are living together, so that would be a huge explosion. Beginning manager, I really want you, before you make a final conclusion on your relationship, I want you to just understand that this is a 30-year-old male. Y'all been together for 5 years. Excuse me. I drink coffee all day, so I'm constantly... Anyways, y'all been together for 5 years. Since this man was 25, that will make you 23. So y'all been together since you were young. You have to understand this man's testosterone, especially in this era of naked women, and everywhere y'all go, he has to see booty cheeks constantly shaking of other women and what he's missing. And this can really fuck with the man's head. And women, y'all have to understand the raging bulls and the monsters that we have to hold back in order to do what's right, to be responsible, to do what we have to do. We found somebody good. We can see a future with this person, so we don't want to screw this up. And we're at a hell of an age, a prime age, and we're settling down now. This is very tough for him, and this man has been fighting those testosterone demons for a very long time. And he proposed to you, and y'all have been engaged for a year. And this window to him, he's seen it closing and fading, but his youth is still there. But this man has now hit 30, and he sees that prime window closing, and it freaks him out. It freaks him out. And I believe for the most part, I don't know if he actually went through and cheated on you. I don't know if how far this went, but I would trust your instincts for the most part. Y'all been together for a long time, so you do know he's not fully there, and there is something going on. For the most part, I do not believe this is a full-blown disaster. You said once you brought up the sex, y'all jumped back on board, and everything was pretty good on on returning at least back to normal, where you didn't notice anything out of pocket afterwards. And this is a good thing. And I would do the same thing for his brain. You got his body back, now get your man's brain back. And you have to get his mind from drifting. And how you do that is letting him know you understand. Let him know that you know how conflicted he is. I can't imagine you're about to get married to have this conversation, meaning through how you see things right now. Only fair amongst the understanding of this is a young man you're dealing with, and that you're moving on and about to start a family. These are all the recipes or all the ingredients to start a family. So you have to let him know that you are aware of these emotions and these desires that this man possibly has, while also letting him know that you're in a committed relationship. We're engaged. We're talking about starting a family. We're talking about doing this, and that. See, what this does is it gives him the ability and to look in your eyes and to realize he can tell you how he feels. He can tell you the truth. He will be amazed if you let him know you know what he's going through, while at the same time bringing up his responsibilities of a relationship that he's a part of. This opens up brand new doors for y'all. So that is to get your fiance's head back into the game, just like you did with his body. Now, to the headbands or to the hair ties found in the car, this is why you do have to go get your man's brain back into y'all's order, because that is disrespectful. And that's why I appreciate him at least acknowledging that. But to me, the chick he's talking to sounds like she did that shit on purpose. She left that there. She's seen some sort of signs that how the fuck is this man single, essentially. So I think she was leaving some clues. And this is why, if you are out there drifting, any one of y'all, stop doing disrespectful shit. You don't... This woman, beginning manager, that's her front seat in his car. She knows it. She's comfortable. It's where she sits all the time. You don't have another woman sitting in that front seat. All right? You don't kiss. If you're drifting, you don't get into emotional conversations with other men or women. You don't kiss them. You don't do what you passionately do with your significant other. You don't carry that to another person. It's just disrespectful. Truly. I'm understanding across the board, but even the thought of, if I'm in my girl's car being driven and I reach down for whatever reason, I pull out a man's tie, like, it would honestly make me laugh, because this is no way. Like, it's, what do you even say to that? And hence him, I'm gonna figure out whose hair that is. You look dumb. You know you fucked up. But you don't want to tell your partner, I really fucked up. Like, I made the dumbest fucking mistake. So don't do it. Beginning manager, I want you to have some patience with this, because y'all been together for a long time. A long time. And it seems like you actually, y'all waited long enough. You took the necessary precautions, steps, growth in order to have something flourish from this in a beautiful manner. And things like this do happen. You're 28, he's 30 years old. Believe me when I say, at that point in his life, he's at a critical stage and a maturity stage for him to start making concrete decisions of what he's going to do and not going to do. And this is one of those learning situations for him, believe it or not. So I just want you to understand how beautiful things really are right now. I get it. I know what happened and I feel you. However, just throw it all down the drain because of this. This is some young man shit. You have to understand that. And you don't throw away an entire future for some young man, some young girl shit. That's just what you don't do. We're talking about monogamous relationships here. Two people in the era of the internet and of freedom and of feminism. This is one of the hardest errors, to stay committed, to focus on your partner, and to not drift away. I don't want you to lose out and miss out on a good opportunity, or to look back, what if. I don't think you have been dating or been engaged into an outright cheating asshole. I don't think that's the case. I think y'all have been nesting lately, and I think you're moving on to a whole new territory when it comes to starting a family, getting married. This is a big deal, and this is very stressful. This is stressful for you. This is stressful for your partner. So just understand that I truly don't believe this man brewed all this up because it's like, I'm not really digging you anymore. I don't think his interest, as you said, you fixed the sex game in y'all's sex life, and he got right back to it. So he's not digging you. He's definitely there. It's just who's he gonna talk to this about, right? The thought of possibly never getting to seeing another vagina again, never seeing a pair of titties again. That might sound silly to you because he has you. You need to watch one of my last episodes that explains this. You might not think it's a big deal, but it is a huge deal. And beside us talking to our friends or having to call our fathers about this, I advise you to talk to him. This is so important. He needs to know what you're going through. Think about this. He's thinking about his window closing on seeing any piece of difference again when it comes to women. And on your behalf, you're completely knee deep or neck deep in the perspective of, we need to lock down what we have, so we have the stability and the security to start a family and to move on and raise healthy children. You see how opposite that is? Those need to come together. He needs to understand your stresses, and this might not be a big deal to him, meaning in the future, right? But you know it's a big deal. So on your behalf with his issues, you might not think his issues are a big deal, but they are. So I do believe a piece of your man is absent in your relationship. I do believe he has been dabbling in the mystic arts, if you will. However, you have something beautiful that's taking place. Y'all are young. This is whole new territory. And you either have somebody to navigate you through territories, so it's not as new to you, or you work through it together. It's so important to get into the dark spots of your man's brain and pick out some of the things that only he is dealing with. And that's important for him to do the same with you. So I think this is a classic case of that gap not being explored by each other and leaving the exploring left to themselves. And when it comes to you securing your family and securing what you have nurtured and created for the last years, it's up to you to let him know your issues and what you're dealing with. And you have to, because we know as men, we can't bring up this information to our woman. And that's not good. We can't talk to no one about it, essentially. Even if we bring it up to our friends, they're like, yo, dog, you got something good going on. And there's still really not a solution there besides just don't tell her and hang in there. This needs to be explored with your significant other. So since he's not going to bring this up, or he's not going to feel comfortable that you're going to feel comfortable with him bringing this up, you bring it up for him in a mature way. Don't use it as a weapon. Don't abuse your power. Let him know you understand. Resurrect this relationship. I have faith in y'all. I believe you can do this. Good luck out there. Together, we'll learn the facts to educate ourselves. EDC.